是吃素，其实做很多事情都是一样，就是我们要先学习怎么让，怎么对地球是好的，那我们自然好的事情就会回到我们自己身上。我的 IG slogan 想要过美好的生活，先学习善待我们的星球。
很棒的，
可以听得到吗？
年轻的巧巧，热烈的掌声一下。巧巧有没有很美丽？真的
可以听得到吗？
所以呢，超有气质了哈，是一个茶人。那我有去过他现在在展示这样的一个空间里面哦。那其实你看看，
请问一下，
即便是
可以听得到吗？
年轻的女孩，但是她说出了心里的话，所以吃素这个部分，她也觉得自己的脾气改得更好，各方面身体的部分都是越来越好的。所以我们
那现在要开始了，对不对？
典范学习，即便呢，他其实只是年纪轻轻的，好，所以我们非常
现在要开始了，对不对？
上线来分享，上线来跟我们分享。
对，已经开始了。
已经开始了。好，感恩。
也曾经来过我们线上哈，来分享，非常的感恩。
OK， 好。
那希望大家透过
Okay. Hi everyone. Here comes to our Kaohsiung online study group. I'll be translating to English for you. We start with an aphorism about not getting angry.
所以难免呢，相聚时间一多的时候，哇，一不小心的话，就会有不顺心的事情发生。所以这时候这句话就要注意，就要送给我们自己，上人就时时给我们这样一个提醒了哈。
When people are together, sometimes we will have different kind of emotion. We start with master's ideal talents, who are modest and arrogant and pure. With self-respect, cultivation, and virtue, and also caring and treating everyone equally. And he will be also open-minded and controlling his temper. And he works hard and harmoniously with others. And she showed good etiquette in speeches and actions. He will be enlightened and virtuous and with a purified heart. And he also focused on general principle but not the trifles. Okay. Now you see that? I look at Master's response. We are great. Yeah, we encourage each other. Let's give applause to our seniors. During the pandemic, many senior have concerns showing up here in the here. But we really welcome sister and brother to be here with us. Master said that we are the Dharma messenger, and then we need to pass on the Dharma mindfully and then pass on the great Dharma. It says that Dharma should be with us always in our actions. So we keep growing with Master Chen Yan's wishes that to expand to multiple language, not just speech, but also the articles by basically the recording in written language as well. Next, we are going to expand to a Spanish translation. So if you know of anyone who are good in Spanish, please do let us know. Yeah, really in need of Spanish translation talent. Now, recently we also added a German translation as well. Now, totally, we have 500 staff in helping out this weekly online study group. So this way we have a few different languages as well. This a Japanese volunteer who doesn't know Mandarin. Yeah. So this week we'll have Jack, Leon, Victor, Andrew, Betty, and then Regan translating for us. And this is the Japanese translation team. And this is Cantonese. And this is Malay. We are really grateful for their dedication. And this is Hakka translation. So we recently has a chatting with Master Chen Yan. Basically, his sister also mentioned to Master that Sister Meiyun always stay up too late, which is not good for her health. And then the Master said that if you know of that, she stay up late again, then just mention that Master is hurrying her to go to bed soon. Yeah.
所以他早上就去扫完厕所，第一件任务出完了，然后再过来的哈。他说不要这样扫厕所，要说做福田，好。然后我们的高雄的雨婷呢，是我们的美编，就近视语分享串联好运美编，由我来。他自己是在那一天跟上人分享，他觉得那一天很好，除了代表高雄线上读书，还有大爱。然后
our Kaohsiung金丝号。
在这个当下里面，他听到团队很多人的不同一个分享，他觉得说他不会口译，不会笔译，但是要写他也不会，可是美编他愿意承担，让我们非常的感动他美编做出来是很有那个能量的一个美编，专业的美编。
The one sister walked here to help with the art presentation.
幼稚园用我们的近似语教学，所以因为这样的关系呢，他加入了大爱妈妈。然后大爱妈妈来这个读书会呢，分享的时候，他有3分钟的分享，就因为这3分钟就跟我们结下了好缘，成为我们的团队了所以我们真的非常感恩，我们也非常珍惜每一份的好姻缘，所以感恩团队写下这样的一个好姻缘上下缘，让我们认识团队的献身。
working on the presentation of the various flyers that you see here.
是我们的美编团队，往后会有14个团队，掌声感恩秋玉、建林、云恩、舒雅、慧瑜、属实。
This is our artwork team.
洋洋、慧君、于婷。只要有坚持下来，每一个人都在进步。有一天，洋洋做的东西就是上个礼拜1月4号，就是那个梅莎夫人那一张。其实当那一张出来的时候，我不知道那是洋洋做的，因为整个大跃进。后来去看，是洋洋做的，所以真的不要害怕自己不是专业，因为上人说用心就是专业，从承担以后就会开始来成长。
So we can tell their work, the quality, the elegance has been improving significantly after they practice and practice.
带他们公司里面去带他们读书会，而后呢，他虽然离开那个公司，但是我们情谊在，我就说你要不要帮老师继续帮忙，所以我们就合作这个区块。然后呢，就是软式椅的部分，就是大家每周都能看到的画画的部分，所以非常感恩。那现在你就可以看到玉如的有没有？温言暖语、三念流转、激励之川、向上向上，大家都会觉得说，你那么神奇，怎么会去找到那么多不同的这一些有名的人的这一些？我要告诉大家，不是我找的。以前我都会看到好句子要帮他整理，但是现在几乎都他找的。有时候我看到好的再丢给他，但是大部分都是玉如自己去找的。来，我们一起来念这一句：天才是1%的灵感及99%的。
Yeah, the sister Yuru to help collecting all these good phrases.
所以不要害怕自己不够卓越，而是愿意承担，从一点小小的事情往前走，迈开大步。
Yeah, genius is only 1% of aspiration, but 99% of aspirations.
我从2009年开始带读书会，在小客厅，他们说老师你来带读书会，我就发下了这个愿。
Since 2009, we started the study group. I wish that through the study group that more people can enjoy books and then studying.
就是往这个方向，但是要爱上读书，享受读书。所以邀约大家，无论透过现在什么方式都。
Yeah, this is my goal since 2009.
真的非常感恩，有96则的留言，45次的转分享，但是我们还是希望更多转分享。昨天呢，我其实非常感恩，我现在收到是教联会。
So we have a lot of sharing from last time.
法入心，行如法，身体力行结善缘。我真的好感动，为什么？他昨天特别跟我讲说，老师，我今天要搭飞机从加拿大回台湾哦，但是就因为这样，我可能没办法上线留言。我说真的哦。结果他第一个时间可能先留言，以后才上飞机。我们给关心你掌声一下哈。好，所以美玲在主场，然后文清已经在
one of the sisters been so serious in trying to provide the feedback weekly.
我们感恩。热烈掌声感恩北京、河北、山东、云南、广西、广东、上海、长春、内蒙、重庆、贵州、大陆的书友、大陆的美编团队，真的。
There are so many
家族玛丽准备留言哦，所以
sister and brother from mainland China.
我没办法念到每一个人的，可是我们真的很感动的是， 大家我们把你整理出来。当然，我们希望越来越多。我们加拿大的亮君现在也在台湾，他即将2月1号也会莅临组长，然后带着亲友团。所以只要是我们的同学、我们的团队，欢迎2月1号莅临主场。如果在海外的人，请你连线，所以我们来实体相见一下，那他就说感恩洪凯师兄跟子睿师姐的分享，
Yeah, so
太棒了，智慧
the staff will have a gathering on the very first.
王慧的师姐就说洪凯师兄跟他们家子睿师姐一同行，
And this is about Brother Richard, and
真的好有才法，书法也写得很棒。
they are sharing last
我
time.
们今天的导读人呢，也是常常上线留言，13年的坚持是一件容易的事。
And this is Chen Yao. Chen Yao is sharing.
碧娟赞叹的就是我们的陈瑶，陈瑶今天呢依然有在我们的主场。
Yeah, they are doing the after-school program for one of the disaster area that we help out.
西班牙语，然后呢，同时他口译的一个。
And also, Sister Marta is actually the Paraguay's Dr. Mesa's wife, and then she shared last time, very touching, about her husband. The story was really touching. If you can go back and then listen to the recording. Many people has a lot of feedback because the sharing was so touching about Dr. Mesa.
同时在听手机在上，我觉得他的年龄也跟我们是差不多的，竟然可以手机这么快，真的厉害。那上个礼拜莅临的还有我们还记得吗？布里斯本的家人在这边，所以日本的经会说布里斯本是爱的传承与年轻化的示范区，从4位
Also we have Australia sister and brother presenting their new Jingsi Hall. It looks so elegant and so wonderful. And they're sharing that how they work together to do Ciji in Australia. And this is the feedback from the sister and brothers. And lastly, it was Sister Jingyuan's sharing about how we can distill the thoughts from Master's teaching, and so she referred to so many story in depth, so it was very touching. Yeah, also an episode very worth listening again. So this is the English feedback.
And the close relationship between him and Master, deeply touched with his aspiration to be silent mentor and seeds plant in Paraguay today.
I was talking about her feeling from listening to the story of the Dr. Mesa from Paraguay. Yeah, even though he doesn't speak Mandarin, but spiritually, Dr. Mesa is so close to Master. Originally, he wanted to donate his body after pass away, but finally that for some condition that he can only donate it her cornea. So this is from the YouTube sharing.
所以夫唱妇随或全家代代相传都是很棒的。好，来看到我们的阮思怡啦，可爱的阮思怡总是这样画出来，那每一个人拿到都觉得会心一笑。那今天石金文清是我们熟悉的。
Okay, this is Ran Si. Every time after the program, then she would draw some cartoon to capture the spirit of the talk.
So our next session today is the Da'ai voice session led by Sister Janet Yao and Brother Victor Zhe, who we are all very familiar with. And today's topic is going to be get old gracefully, spread good Dharma, and form good affinities.
所以我们要通过通关密语，直接遇到我们喜欢的石金文清。我喜欢和你在一起，因为你有正。
So let's welcome Sister Janet and Brother Victor.
好，我来了。
是。
亲爱的上人、金色师父以及全球的家人。
Hey everyone, I'm here.
大家好，我是姚
Dharma Master Sung Yin, Masters at the Abode, and everyone around the world. Good day to you. I am Janet. And I am Victor. Now we're in 2023 now, which means that we're 1 year older. So today let's talk about how to stay youthful and live carefree and joyfully. And let's look at the stories of some of our elderly and how they live in such a way. First, let's take a look. This is actually at a nursing home. This senior right here is 102 years old. Now let's actually play a video of her really quick. Let's give her a round of applause. At 102 years old, she still sings so well. And this is because the rhythm of music actually has the ability to stimulate our brain and potentially improve our memory. Now let's take a look here. This is actually at an elderly center in California in the US. And there are these two elderly who are particularly old. And they actually, for many years now, have had cancer. But let's take a look at them in this video.
I love them. 好，你们知道吗？他们已经几岁了呢？他们啊，今年都已经这两位都是90岁了。
Can you guess how old they are? They're actually both 90 years old this year. But we can see that they still dance so well. That was the line dance right there. So really we can see the ability of music and dance to stimulate our brains and the special effect it can have. Now, Assistant Director of the Hualien City Hospital, Dr. Luo Qingwei, once taught about the secret to aging gracefully, which she calls the 6 paramitas of health. And so these 6 things are good quality and sufficient sleep, management of chronic illnesses, management of nutrition, physical exercise, exercising our brain, and interacting with others. Now, the Tzu Center for Dementia also has a Dr. Cao, who also talks about how accompanying our senior friends, just talking to them, singing with them, spending time with them, and giving them the ability, or just helping them be happy such that they can smile. Just that smiling alone really gives them the ability to live happily and with dignity. And actually, Dr. Cao also once held what's called a memory maintenance workshop to replace the Center for Dementia. So let's take a look at this video. So participating in this memory maintenance workshop has really helped my dad. We see that he's not deteriorating in the way that he used to, and gives him the ability to interact with others as well. Okay, so what I found is actually the secret of how singing and dancing really gives us, or really are the perfect activities to maintain a healthy body and a healthy mind. This allows our senior friends to be elegant and joyful even as they get older. And really, we find that the breathing patterns of singing, that inhaling and exhaling, can make our whole body feel alive and invigorated. So we can really see the power of music. And specifically in Taipei, in the Eastern District, there is a singing class that's called Sharing Dharma with Wondrous Sound. So let's take a look at this video of that class. So you can really see how happy these elderly are. So we can really see the smile and joy on their faces. And this is because the melody and the rhythm of these music classes have stimulated their brains and their cells in a way that make them very, very happy and lively and to feel very blessed. And you can actually see that all of these elders are very old. They're in their 70s, 80s, even 90s. Now, despite their age, let's take a look at their singing and see how well they sing. And then now let's take a look at this senior giving a sharing. So you can really see, or rather you cannot tell that he's actually already 80 years old. He not only sings well, but he also shares very clearly. And so from these seniors' examples, we can really see, or they are an example that music really can be therapeutic and improve our cognitive function. It can improve our hearing and comprehension, and improve our memory as well as our language abilities and social skills. Now let's take a look at another one of our seniors. She's going to be singing a song called Cloud River. How was her singing? Now let's take a look at this video on the left of the same person sharing. So you can see that the senior, both her melody and rhythm were very, very good. And she was also very expressive and able to share very well. Do you know how old she is? Of course I know. She's already 90 years old, and actually she's my mom. I'm very, very grateful. Through the singing class, there was the ability to stimulate her brain and even build her confidence. And it's all because of this English class, or this singing class. My bad. So really, music can be such a good therapeutic medicine for our seniors. Now let's take a look here. Rhythmic exercises that have to do with rhythm and dance, can also be very, very good for elderly. It's a good exercise of discipline and physical activity. It can improve their heart and lung function. Dancing and engaging our body in physical activity can also slow the deterioration of our brains, especially among the elderly. Now in this video right here, you can see these are all elderly in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s.
们，如果你家里有像这样子7、8、90岁的长者，你也可以试试看，你听听看啊。医生说我们要曾经。
So, folks in the audience, if you have seniors in your family, you can also try this as well. Doctors really encourage a lot of our seniors to be more physically active, which can also help prevent against things like Alzheimer's, as a good way to stimulate their brain. And this can help improve their comprehension, their focus, and even their memory. Now, I'd like to make this next introduction with a lot of gratitude. This person has used music to create affinities, positive affinities, with so many of our seniors by establishing the Sharing Dharma with Wondrous Sound class in the Taipei Eastern District office. And here on the slide right here, this is, the person who established the class was composer Ji Linan 13 years ago. And on this slide right here is a music teacher, someone named Liu Shaoqian, who goes by the stage name Sang Guanping. And here she's just sharing a little bit about the story of the class, if I am not mistaken. And can you actually guess, just looking at this video, how old she is? She's actually 74 years old, and this video was taken just last month. So from this Sang Guanping 老师, or teacher Sang Guanping's example, and for the elderly that we've seen earlier, we can see the power of music to bring us joy and wellness. Now, this singing class is really intricate and professional. This Xiaoqian music teacher, she not only teaches about singing, but she has even invited the chief piano teacher of China Television Orchestra, in this video right here, to come play the piano accompaniment. And this piano teacher, his name is Gao Mingxiong.
你看，透过钢琴的伴奏，我们这个老人家呢就可以很方便的来练唱哈。
So through this piano accompaniment, our seniors can better follow along and practice their singing, and really makes this such a high quality and wonderful class. And not only this, there are always very, very warm-hearted volunteers in every class, helping to set up a lot of the professional audio equipment, which really gives the next degree of professionalism to this class. We can also see that in this sound control room, this AV room, there is so much professional equipment, and we have these professional volunteers putting subtitles for the lyrics for the songs, and so that our seniors have like a karaoke-like experience in these classes. Now, have you heard of the idea that singing has a lot of side effects? Of course I can. Now, the side effect is that when we're singing, our brains actually release a hormone called oxytocin. Oxytocin helps us to boost our mood. It reduces our feelings of stress and anxiety, and it can even increase our sense of security and safety. So generally, it helps our emotional well-being. So really, music and song has the ability to purify our minds and hearts. It can become a bridge for communication between people and bring joy and color to our lives. Now, we've seen that singing loudly can help reduce obsessive compulsive symptoms and depressive symptoms, and really has a lot of therapeutic effects. So to give a few little tidbits, when we sing in a lower pitch, this can actually help to stabilize blood pressure. When we sing with a fast beat, follow along songs with fast beats, it helps us feel lively and invigorated. And then when we sing longer notes, that can help alleviate stress. So not only does music bring us joy, when we learn to sing and breathe with our diaphragm, that can help to strengthen our core muscles. It can stimulate our large intestines and promote digestion and alleviate constipation. And it can strengthen our immune system, amongst other things. We see that a lot of our seniors who sing often, they have less of an occurrence of needing to go see the doctor and eat medicine, and even less of an occurrence of falls. So let's take a look at these seniors singing here. Everyone feel free to sing along.
跟上了，
大概有12年了。好，牵手牵手，一起唱歌去好。我们非常感恩妙音传法歌唱班，所以建议大家
1,000 hands and 1,000 hands, let us all sing together. Once again, thank you so much to the Sharing Dharma with Wondrous Sound. And we actually encourage everyone to organize similar classes in your own local communities. Weren't you really, really joyful just watching all these seniors earlier? Even just watching them brings us such joy. So let's bring this joy to more of our senior friends and help them experience the benefits, the therapeutic benefits, and the health and wellness benefits of music in our lives. Thank you so much, everyone. So really what you can see, Sister Janet is getting more and more experienced. She was very smart about the positioning in the frame. She's hiding behind Brother Victor to make herself look a little bit smaller. And in any case, thank you to Sister Janet and Brother Victor for the session today. Sister Guan Xingling, are you still at the airport? Maybe you haven't gotten on the plane because I see your comment, but I know you mentioned that you might be on a flight today. Thank you for your comment on this session just now about aging gracefully. Volunteer from Kaohsiung is also sharing about the benefits to our seniors from music. Another volunteer from Hualien in Taiwan. Encouraging or sharing about the class that was mentioned in the session earlier. I believe I heard volunteers from, or listeners from Canada and from maybe China. Listeners also from Shanghai saying they were waiting for Brother Victor and Sister Janet in their session. So once again, thank you to Brother Victor and Sister Janet for their sessions today. Let's go back to our slides. So we now have 49,201 of our lotuses of love, or our heart lotuses, which represent donations from all around the world. So let's continue building on that momentum. And actually today we're going to share on a few of different Jingsi products, these little snacks. Here you can see pistachios, you can see peanuts, you can see these little crisp wafer snacks. So I'm sure you've had pistachios from a lot of people, but really our pistachios are really, really delicious. So I encourage everyone to try some. And the peanuts there are actually spicy peanuts. Now, of course, hygiene and sanitation is very important. So you can take that little cleanliness kit, sanitation kit with you while you're on the go. So here's a video about, I think, maybe how pencils are used in different places around the world. And about perhaps a Tsuji pencil product. Just showing you how you can push the lead out in this, I guess, mechanical pencil. It's actually, okay, it's a hybrid pencil/pen. And it is environmentally sustainable because you can, instead of just tossing the whole product after you're done, you can replace the refills for the pens and the pencils inside. This is just a little walkthrough video of this product, its benefits, and how to use it. And even the packaging for the pencil can be used as a bookmark in this way. So everything's been thought out in a very, very sustainable manner. This is what we call the wisdom pen / pencil. So it's eco-friendly pen / pencil. I think it's maybe been shared a few times. And here in my hand, you can see that I was holding the bookmark from that packaging. So this is a good gift for either our kids and students, or even adults. And through this, we can also promote environmentalism as well. And then the Da'ai antibacterial lotion, hand lotion, or at least sanitizing hand lotion, I'll say that. Okay, and then we even have refill bottles for these sanitizing lotions that can fill the bottle, I believe, 6 times. Let's take a look at this phrase right here. If you need others' encouragement to shine brightly, then the most you can be is a light bulb. But I'm assuming the second part that I missed, but if you're able to bring that power from within, then you are, there is much more that you can accomplish. That is my very rough guess and approximation of the second piece. Let's take a look at some of the written sharings and feedback from some of our listeners. On the left, we have Sister Ransi from Malaysia, and on the right, we have Sister Zheng Meiyu from Taiwan, Taipei.
我们看一下台北新北市综合日照中心的曾美玉师姐，谢谢。欢喜连线种善种子，他们每个月的第3周会跟我们连线在一起。他说其实也是非常的挑战，可是，在7月16日开始到每月第3周呢，跟我们连线在一起的时候，本来觉得
So I missed the sharing on the left, but on the right, the sister is sharing, I think, that every 3rd week of the month they'll connect to these study groups. It sounds like maybe it's a group of elderly folks. And over time, we could see that the folks who were participating all became very immersed in listening to the study groups. You can hear their applause in all the different places where applause was expected, so it was very touching to see. And it sounds like the sister has even taken additional steps to maybe either summarize or recap some of the sessions in the study groups to even deepen the impression in these seniors' minds. On the left, we have Sister Wang from Hongdian, I believe, from Zhanghua in Taiwan, talking about the importance of aspiration and how it's only through aspirations that we can accomplish the limitless and the infinite. So a lot of people may think, oh, hey, you know, there's a lot I want to do, but maybe I'll wait until I retire. But the sister right here, despite still pursuing her career, she makes sure that she cherishes the time that she has and does not let the other things that are going on in her life stop her from doing the things that she feels like are important. And then there's Sister Wang Shou Zhen, I think, from Hualien,
其实不是，他以前非常害羞的。他一开始受证的时候，他说他的委员数根本不够，会员数不够，是他的资深还给他的，帮忙他受证。可是他发现旁边的人呢，就是一直带动他，到他现在就是逢人可以说慈济，所以没有什么不敢的。他到现在就是敢说，然后往前。
I'm assuming this is talking about the sister on the right, but I believe they had maybe joined the study group live once and shared how that experience was so powerful and encouraged others to join as well. And I think other folks were saying, hey, she's so good at encouraging folks to donate to the good causes of Tzu Chi, and she was sharing that initially she actually was not, but through the help of others and over time, she improved in her abilities. So thank you to all of our folks who provide written feedback and sharings in this way. And thank you to our editing team for putting these together. Thank you so much. So now on to our next session.
Thank you. We're coming to our next subject. Sister Cai Bijuan is going to guide our study group about Master Zheng Yan's footprint. Master, all the master in the abode, dear global family. I'm guiding the volume in 2022, spring volume. Last February 24th is the heartbroken day for Ukrainian people. Russia officially sent troops to invade Ukraine, causing more than 4 million Ukrainian people to flee to neighboring countries. Tzu Chi mobilized after the Russia-Ukraine war broke out, hoping to provide humanitarian assistance to Ukrainian refugees. Ukraine is the biggest country in Europe, the second biggest in the East Europe. They have a beautiful scenery, but after the war, everything was hurt, and also causing the crisis in food and economy. And we are a whole global community, so no one can stay out of it. Starting from February 24th, we can see how Tzu Chi helped the Ukraine. February 28th, we found Sister Zhang Shu'er, who is working, used to work in Taiwan, Dai TV. And finally, at the end, March 1st, we start the first fundraising. And then March 5th, we start the first distribution. Only 9 days after the war broke out. At the beginning of March, we received the request from our Ministry of Foreign Department Affairs. So we support and assist them in packing the supplies donated by people of Taiwan to the refugees. Within 10 days, we had more than 2,400 people to pack 20,000 boxes of supplies to Poland. Let's listen to Master's teachings. Today, I'm going to give you a small gift. The shopping cart has 2,000 Polish dollar. Tzu Chi, the giving of Tzu Chi is try to touch people, not just superficial. At least we need to feed them at least for a whole month's food. This is how we need to do our best, and that is our sincerity. We receive the help. It means a lot to us. Most importantly, we get the love and care from you, just like they said on the stage. When everyone can share their support, everyone give us the moral support. I don't believe that how can people get this unconditional giving. To help people is the most the happiest thing. So, dear Pusas, dear Bodhisattvas, the energy of love is undescribable. When you help others and you can inspire their love so that they can help more people, that is giving. Thanks for Master's teaching. We give them the money, almost around $14,000 Taiwan dollar each card. Just for 2021, there are more than 8 84 million people, refugees. And now Ukraine has more than 480,000 people. In 1 more month, there will be the anniversary of the war. The kids, all the kids cannot go their home. There is no winner, only destruction and death. This is the lesson we learn. Of course, Master said, war is the human calamity. Only human can conquer this war. Only when people are harmonized, then the war will end. We are all one family. Let's look at the video. Why we do this? Why we come from United States, come from Spain? Why we come to this place here? Because we want to share with you Master Cheng Yen's love. For all of you, my brothers and sisters.
Seeing what happens in Ukraine, I'm extremely saddened. But also
when I see everything in Ukraine, I felt very sad. But now, encouraged to see all you are here. We come from everywhere around the world. We want to let you know you are not alone. Although you are in such a bad time, but we are one family. We are one family on the earth. I love you. You can see Brother Hu Guangzhong and all the volunteers treat all the refugees as one family. Not only we give them surprise, but we give them love. Today we are over in very safe place, and we must be very grateful. Master said, all the things happen in the world, everyone has the responsibility. When we give rose to others, we will have the fragrance in our hand. The sunflower represents sun, positive, and then the courage to conquer, to pursue happiness. So that's watch a video that is made by all the 3-in-1 volunteers around the world. about bringing the love to the world. Great love lights up the world. A heart of gratitude safeguards a night of peace and breeze. With each new day, great love lights up the world.
好，感恩全球人文真善美志工总是默默的付出，为时代做见证，为慈。
Thank you for all the 3-in-1 volunteers. They witness our history. And we praise them. They are the heroes in the background. Thank you, Brother Jinghong here. Yeah, let's give him an applause. Through the video, we can see our world is beautiful. And when we are in such a peace place, we need to bring more people to have a peaceful mind and inspire their love. Thank you. I'm so grateful, especially at night. All these teams of guiding group, they joined us very bravely. So we can see that they are guiding all well done. Thank you, Sister Bijuan. 我们即将有《爱在满呐海》这样的一本绘本书，胡光中师兄，还有呢我们的总编辑欣欣师姐，还有我们这一本绘本的Brother Hu Guangzhong will come to Kaohsiung for the drawing book. And even the writer will come together also. So welcome to join our drawing book event. Every time our brother Hu Guangzhong share about his experience in Turkey, it's all very touching. So only when you start doing things that you will get better and better. 广西的李丽就说：“哇，石金文庆活力四射，一出场就看到他们满满的大能量，总是带给我们的善的。” Sister from Shanghai, sister from Guangxi also share their feelings. 立身清净心哈，他写了很多。好，那在这边呢，我们的 Irene 呢是用。Thank you for Janet and Victor. Also, give us a very good program. Irene, thank you so much. You have written so many feedbacks. Sister Chunzi from Changchun. Every time you're sharing, give us a very good response. 石金就说有人晚到没有看到石金文庆的分享，说好可惜。其实没关系啊，你可以看回放，不但要看回放，看过的人还要帮我们转回放，然后让更多人知道哈。Even though you cannot see online, but you can see the playback. 石金文庆哈，好多。就让我念不完的时候，请原谅我。So many people respond. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Sister from Hualien also have a feedback. Everyone enjoyed the seniors singing. So coming is the summary rhyme. 我们的顺口溜团队就可以知道，加拿大 All these are our team. Okay, so we will read some of the rhymes. Brother Richard and Sister Angela couple has a great opportunity to present their Shijing wisdom life together in the Kaohsiung headquarters of online study group. Write the Lotus Sutra poems with calligraphy, realize the teaching in daily life, and explain to people. We all can obtain the power of Buddha and spread love all over the world. Sister Wu Chenhao has a great Dharma destiny that coordinates supplementary classes in Shannon Da'ai village from the Typhoon Murak. Brings eternal great love to the Shannon village, change the kids and their family with humanity. Juan Mesa and Marta Mesa from Paraguay have their whole family joining TIMA and help their community. Brother Tang Shenhao helps simultaneous integration, spread third great love story with borders to the world. There's a big Shijing family in Brisbane, Australia. Relay great love through 3 generations. Brother Lu Meiyun and Sister Yijun share their house to invite young people to Shijing. Sister Yijun and Brother Guofeng couple is willing to take responsibilities. Sister Hongdian is responsible for trace the Shijing Dharma essence. There are secrets to editing the compiled history events. Focus on who are the people, what happened with keywords, dig out images, videos, and verify their time and year. Thank you. So now we are going to
Today we are welcoming the Taipei Tzu Hospital nursing director. If you know anyone who speaks Japanese, English, please go ahead, share this video to them. You'll learn a lot from these people. Do you remember during the pandemic, and when the vaccination began, there are many people at the campus they didn't get to get vaccinated, and therefore those doctors and nurses, they have to go to campus and give vaccination to those students. And some of them, they may not get it at the first time due to some circumstances, but those nurses and doctors, they were able to give them vaccinated. And we've seen our speaker today, she's the nursing director at the Taipei Hospital. She's often appeared in the Shijing news, talk about how and what they did during the pandemic. And now she's talking about that there's a precious pearl in our body, in each one of us, and we need to utilize it. And we do not keep this precious pearl inside our heart. We have to use it and trade it with other stuff. And right here on this video, this is the dean of the Taipei Tzu Hospital. And here we can see that those nursing staff who works at the hospital, they also have family who are sick. And the director, nursing director, is saying that her sister complained that when their parents are sick in the hospital, they couldn't able to visit, to pay a visit. So now we know how hard those staffs are working. They have to treat everybody equally. They cannot let their own family member come into the hospital just because it's her relative. And let's look at how great this team is. This is their recognition event. And right here, the mayor of the new Taipei is speaking, and he is thanking all the medical staff who help out during the pandemic.
其中，台北慈济医院荣获防疫卓越、防疫贡献、居家照护与社区筛检4项大奖。
And they are receiving 4
疫情期间，全院动员加开专责与加护病房，承担集中检疫所、居家照护等关怀工作，守住医疗量能，协助社区筛检、疫苗接种、疫病门诊等服务。
这是代表赵院长还有我们整个台北慈院来接受这个奖项。台北慈院还有所有慈济人，真的帮。
Here we have people applauding how important the Tzu Chi Hospital at Taipei, how many people they helped to save during the pandemic.
这个奖是大家的，但是我们现在邀约大家一起来遇到这位说奖是大家的，但是身怀宝珠的邱凤主任。
Let's hear from this nurse who is talking about there's a precious pearl inside each one of us. Thank you, sister. When I saw the video that you're showing, a lot of them are pretty old and historical. I was very touched. Dear Master, Master Abbo, all the family around the globe. Hello, my name is Qiufeng. I'm the director of the Department of Nursing at Shijing Hospital at Taipei.
等一下，邱凤主任，我需要打断你哎。 您的简报会放吗？还是等一下？
Let me interrupt you first. Do you want to play the presentation? You want to start? Yes, I do.
可以的。
Thank you.
不好意思。
是。
OK， 好。那我在民国67年选择护理职业学校，到现在已经。
Back in 1978, I entered a nursing school, so it's been 45 years since I entered the nursing practitioner. I'm grateful for the people, events, and things that I have learned and grown along the way. And this is my resume. You can see every other 6 years, I moved to a new facility. Why you ask? Because my personality is I like to change. I like to interact with new things. So one day I received a phone call from the Tzu Chi Hospital. That was back in 1994. And I was surprised how they find me. They told me it was because of resume I submitted a long time ago. And I went to Tzu Chi Hospital with a simple mind. I just want to learn something new. And when I went to start working at Tzu Chi Hospital, I was able to join a camp. And at this camp, I learned all about what Tzu people do. And I was very touched at the end of the camp. And it changed my mind that I want to do something. I want to be active. Therefore, instead of changing the places I worked before, I decided to be at Shijing. So it's been 18 years since I stayed at the Shijing hospital. And I'm very grateful that I learned so much from this hospital. And I'm very grateful for the words of wisdom that the Master gave us. She gave us 3 words: gratitude, respect, and love. When I met challenges and difficulty, these words always reminded me.
那这个刚刚在影片当中有提到，我真的要很感谢师姐给我这个机会，让我把我们这3年来在台北
I'm very grateful for this opportunity to share my experience during this past 3 years. And this is my nursing team. They gave me so much energy. All this energy become the power for me to combat any challenges in the future.
我们的医学中心的评鉴，大家知道，面对医学中心的评鉴是要做的事情非常非常的多。那在大概4月左右
we received in 2021 was the cancellation of the hospital accreditation process.
不过在5月12号那一天，我们接到一个非常好的。
It allows us to focus on the prevention and fighting against the pandemic.
取消医学中心评鉴。当我们听到这个讯息，
We were so relieved
真的是非常非常高兴。为什么？
Because this way we can pour our heart and soul and just focus on fighting this pandemic.
这次来的疫情，大家可以从这张图看到，我们
You
从
can see from this chart,
那个时候个案数
on May 12th, the number is quite low,
看到最高点5月19
but
号
2 days later, the number went up tremendously. And what's scaring is the vaccination rate was very low back then, and a lot of serious cases. So this pandemic came very strong and fast.
所以许多需要接受医疗照顾的一些个案都没有适当的一个安排的处所。急诊，我们的急诊。
And our ER always receive anticipated patient transfer. And most of you are pretty familiar with our hospital dean, Mr. Zhao. He always mentioned in the meeting that no matter what, anybody who come to our hospital, we will receive them as our patient without asking. We need to give all our patients good care whenever patient comes to our hospital. And the hospital at the City Hospital at Taipei, at first, there's only 1 ICU. I remember the morning of May 20th, I received a phone call from the dean. He said, can we add 1 more ICU? When I heard he asked me that question, I told him it's impossible. There's no way for us to add an ICU in a day. But then I will do our best. So immediately I work with my other team.
好，就回办公室开始联络一些事项了。到了中午
So around noontime, he called again and he said, "Is it possible to receive patient now?" And my reaction was the same. It's impossible. But understanding that the dean cares and wants to take care of the patient, any more impossible reason will be unnecessary.
我到单位去瞧一瞧，现在准备的状况是怎么样？结果我到单位的时候，发现原来的病人。
And I immediately went to the unit to check the readiness status and saw that the original inpatient had not been completely empty. A lot of trash cans are still laying in the room.
病人不顾来当我这些环境，那时候心里一想啊，对哈，我有最好的伙伴。
So I started making calls. I called my colleague.
罗丽娜，哎，可不可以请个帮忙啊？我这边12B需要协助，你可不可以找单位的同仁来帮我做服务性的一个准备？
Other department like teaching department, medical product center, public relationship office, general office, and other administrative unit. They all came one after another. It was very emotional to see everybody came in all at the same time.
大家觉得，哎，我们要照顾这些需要照顾的病人。
And they came here without any question. We all divided up the works and did not pick and choose things. So we only have one thing in mind: to do our best and work together to complete the project as soon as possible.
会直接找事情做，哎，这些东西要放哪里等等等，所以。
In less than 2 hours,
这个病房该做的事情都做
we did a lot.
我是非常的感动。我记得当下，因为自己还有个12点快1点的时候，我自己还有个会议。我交代完之后，我就去开另外一个会议。
Around 1 p.m., I had to go to a meeting. So by the time I came back, everything's pretty much in its place.
我想大家最大的一个营业心就是想尽自己的力量，大家齐心协力去把这个病房布置好，赶快能让那些需要被照顾的病人赶快安排上来。我想这是让我最感动的部分。所以为什么短的9天的时间，可以从一个病房
What's important is that we only have one thing in our mind, which is to work together and complete the project as soon as possible so that we could reach patients who need help as soon as possible and let them receive our care without worrying. That's what's in our mind, to do our best and to help each other.
因为我们的工作就是守护生命、守护健康、守护爱。那这一次，我觉得我们都做到了，而且做到不仅是我们医护同仁，我们全院的行政同仁、主管们，大家一起来。再过来这个专责病房，我非常坚持的一个部分。
And this is the ICU. And there's only thing I insist on it is to install monitor and isolation lines in each patient room. Because once a patient admitted to a room, they cannot get out. They have to stay in the room to make sure it doesn't contaminate to others. Therefore, to install the monitor inside the patient room, staff and nurse from outside of ICU, they can check on the patient anytime. And then we can see the status of the patient in the ICU room and talk to them immediately, which has a reassuring effect and also reduce the frequency of staff going in and out of the patient room, and also reduce the risk of infection.
一开始会跟他讲很细致的跟他讲要怎么进行我的隔离，
And I have to thanks to our public work team, all I need to do is explain to them what I want, and they will start the project immediately.
在这个过程当中，其实非常多的事情是必须透过教育的，必须透过宣导。但是一次的宣导、一次的教育，绝对不是每个人都记得起来的。所以我们必须透过
And a lot of time we had to remind people using flyers or signs. So I will contact our public communication office director and all I need to do is just ask him what I need, and he will set up immediately with all the instructions. So I was able to do other stuff. All I need to do just tell our teams, and they will do the job very quickly. And this is the General Affairs Office. And they are responsible for collecting all the material and do all the transportation work. And right here is the list of the stuff that I need. This is just one of the few lists I gave them.
当然有时候会跟我讲说要这么多，当我赶快，我说主任你就帮我们吧，试看看，就他们就会。
It goes miscellaneous stuff like water fountain, thermal,
完成的送到，也让我如期的。
mop,
院长给我的使命
blow dryer,
就是我们总务，再怎么困难，他也会。
and other medical supplies.
所以在这一次的一个专责病房。 跟我们的一个照护当中，其实不是只有我们医护人员的一个
we're also in charge of the
全院的行政团队，大家
pandemic prevention
那
hotels.
在这一波里面，除了我们的专责在院内的专责病房的照护之外，我还记得在那时候5月22号是一个礼拜天，好不容易，其实在4月到9月这个。 几乎是4、5个月当中，其实我们并没有任何假日。那在5月20号也是一个礼拜天，
the month of May, we hardly have any break at all.
可以早一点回家，自己就去买个便当。还记得我在开
I remember on May
钥匙还没插进去，
2nd, I went out to get a lunch. And then I got a phone call from health authority asking us to prepare 200 rooms of the pandemic prevention hotel.
这时候我能说不行啊，我院长说好，院长我刚到家，让我整理一下。所以门开了，把东西放下来，衣服也没换，提着便当都折回医院了。
And what I did was I just bring my lunch. I was actually at home, but after that call, I had to go back to the hospital and then start meeting how to make it possible. We took over the enhanced pandemic prevention hotel and taking into account the medical capacity. So the medical staff, the administrative team, the police force, the Platinum Hotel team, and our commission nurse organizer team, the team is divided into security team, health team, and logistic team to work together.
卫生署的话，就是包括病人照护、动线的管理，所有的事项，病人的就是饮食的部分，还有后勤组是我们白金旅馆原来的一些
The safety team consists of police officers, security, and access control. Health team consists of commanding officer, duty physician, nursing supervisor, or nurse practitioner. Logistic team consists of back office administrative staff and environmental cleaners.
那当然我们要教人家，我们就必须把这个环境设置好。所以我记忆中，那在那个时候准备的过程中，我们跑了好几趟。
And during this time,
我们去看怎么样的动线安排是最重要的。
what's important is the cross-contamination.
很重要就是要照顾好自己。
So we went to
你要照顾好别人之前，一定要先照顾好自己。
different rooms in our hospital, make sure they will turn into a safe pandemic prevention hotel. And this is the floor plan of those rooms.
A 栋 B 栋我们跑了完之后，我们就规划出病人来回去怎么走。那这个过程我就不细讲了哈。好，那除了环境的动线安排之外，其实人员招募很重要，因为我们是要跨出医院，病人
Besides the preparation
那时候起这个
or the location, it's also important to make sure that we have enough staff.
说我需要王医馆需要诊的时候，各个单位的护理长们、同仁们主动报名的去，不需要我花太多的精力。
So I will need a lot of people that consist of medical and nursing staff, information system construction, and preparation of supplies. And we also need to train them and educate them inside and outside the hospital. And all these pictures are the police officer. I remember when I trained them, one of the officers complained that we don't respect them. And he was saying that the previous 2 hospitals that he went to didn't respect them. And I listened to him, and then thanks for his reminder. And I really appreciate him to tell us right there on the spot, so I know what's been needed and what needs to be fixed.
对任何人、清洁人员、对警察大哥，一定要抱一个感恩跟尊重的心情。我们有什么，他们就有什么；我们做的舒服，他们做的舒服，这样大家做的才会愉快。那我们的团队做到了哈。好，那在环境都设定完之后，我们大概在病人注入的时候，怎么去进行减伤，怎么进入关怀，这个
And we also have to
先设定出来，跟大家做好说明。
many SOP before we accept any patient. And I kept reminding our staff that you need to protect yourself. In order to help others, you need to protect yourself first. So on the day of May 31st, we start to accept patients. And that first day, we have 119 cases. They were admitted in an orderly manner. There's no day and night. Pretty much we work 24/7 during that time.
在这几天的照护过程当中，我们也做到我们守护病人的生命，跟用爱来呵护他们。还记得在6月底的时候
And we also have to.
也发生火灾，那时候我们就会
There was a fire in a certain area at the end of the June at New Taipei City. So the team reflected on how to respond to it if it happened to our pandemic prevention hotel. So we started to discuss and plan the evacuation route.
呵护病人的一些心，所以我想这是我团队他们会看到、预见的做一些准备，非常的感动。那从5月30号到7月20号。
Between May 31st to July, we helped over 500 patients. There are a total of 594 patients. There are many heartwarming stories happen during this time. You can see a picture. Somebody posted a flyer on their window. They thank you for everything you did. And the picture in the middle are some of the goodies that the neighbor donated. I mean, just to give us.
防疫旅馆是一个学习，再过来，刚刚师姐有提到，我们疫苗站的设置，因为那时候最重要是要把我们
different learning and challenges during this
接
time.
受疫苗的涵盖率要提升，所以院长也接受到新北市卫生局说，想在我们的新北市5个进食堂要加设疫苗注射站。那这个部分，我卫生局都是挑在礼拜天来这
In
个
order to increase the vaccine rate, the vaccination was extended from one site in the hospital to 5 more in the community with a larger and broader scope of tasks and partners.
最重要就是要让他们安全，
So
而且不要让他们等候太久。
the first phase of the community vaccination service is for the 85 years old
所以我那时
elderly.
候跟团队讲说，我们很重要的地方就是要让这些长者减少动态。
An important task is provide safety and security, reduce movement and waiting time, and feel respect and cared for.
跟我们团队叮咛，我们的目标就是这样子。还记得我们针对动线流程、人力规划做的。
We spend a lot of time on line process and manpower planning.
报道、填写资料等怎么做，我们都规划得很好。可是就是在要服务的前一天，我看到了一个LINE 里面传来的一个影像，看到他们的整个动线的设计比我们的设计还要好。
The day before
他们研发的
our vaccination begins,
病人不动，医护人员
I
动。
saw
看到这样的影片，我马上传在我们的
video through Line.
我觉得
It's a video
设计
is showing how
非常好，
Japan
可行，大家觉得怎么样？这一句话
giving vaccination to their local people.
他们也觉得这样。
So
那如果是这
immediately,
样的话，我们就必须开始去规划我们
I
要
know I have to do something
这个
different
部分跟我们本来
because
的
this
设计
video
是
shows
不太一
how
样，
is more effective than the one we planned.
有一些工作车，那能不能这么做？我们必须请示院长。那院长看完之后，他觉得说非常同意，所以紧接着
Therefore, I
筹备了哈。
speak to my staff, my colleague, and then also the dean,
觉得没有
and they all agree we have to
还有自己走偏的开刀
change in order to make it better.
因为这些平常常在 run， 比较知道哪些单位可能有需要我要的东西，所以找了之后，我就跟我们的那个台北慈济我们一个环保大师一个师兄，这个师兄其实非常好，我们医院有一些东西他都会
I was able to
再利用。 所以那时候我
ask around, ask some of the volunteers, see if they can support me.
我要做什么？他说好，没问题。我记得那时候我在跟他讲的时候，他已经中午时段他已经回到家了。他说那我晚一点再过去可以吗？我说可以，但是我必须在傍晚之前完成，因为完成之后我还要送到进食堂。那我心想，对哈，都准备好了，怎么送到进食堂呢？我又想到我的好伙伴。
In order to get those supplies ready, I also need people who can help me transport those supplies. So I've been calling around to call my friends, and they were able to deliver those supplies to the meditation hall in time.
没问题，果真没问题。没多久，我们的师兄带着他的卡车来帮我的东西送到各进食堂。 在各进食堂里面，我的督导们就接力把这些东西都布置好了，就这样子，我们做了一个非常好的一个服务的流程。那在这个过程当中，
And during this time, we have a very good media coverage.
在看我们怎么对这些疫苗注射的一个动态。我想在这样的一个服务过程当中，我们让很多来到进食堂接受服务的人看见我们的慈济。
And through those media coverage, people were able to see 慈济。 Get to know Tzu and get involved.
这是一个非常良善的一个循环。那在2021年，我们因为院长的一个坚持，院长的
In 2021,
对有这么多元面向的
because of our dean's support, we were able to learn and grow.
能在慈济院有19是能留18年之久哈。那我是觉得很多的事项。 努力过一定会留下痕迹。
And I believe that all the effort must leave traces.
非常多的回响啊， 更体认护理是一个非常好的工作。
And I think nursing is a very meaningful job, not only to help patients recover physically, but also to provide them with spiritual comfort so that they can recover physically and mentally.
那这个部分的话，我想就是我觉得同仁给我这些回响，我是非常感动的哈，因为我常常会比较担心，这么忙碌，这么的一个多元的一个，
And all this are feedback from
一些
the
烦恼心，可是看到的不是，他们更有感恩心。
people around this time I work with.
爱出发心又出来了，因为2021年过了，本来想2022年应该是一个比较顺遂的年，但是没有。
We passed the 2021. I thought that 2022 will be much easier, but actually
在去年4月10的时候，去确诊个案数
we have multiple learning
在短
and
的
multiple
期间
challenges.
从400多人增加到1万多人。
And
看到这样的
these are
数
the
字，其实
people
是
that
非常的一个烦恼的。所幸在这一次的疫情当中，我们99.5%的病人是属于轻症。那轻症的话，就不一定要像去年一样，一定都是每个确诊病
We
人
have
住
more
院。所以除了
infected
加强情况
patients this year, almost over
因为
10,000
在这一波
people.
疫情当中，新北
But
市
luckily,
是最
due to
严
the
重的，
protection
单单一
or
天的
vaccination
最高
in the
峰就
previous
增
years,
加到28000多
there
人。
are fewer
所以我们
severe
新北市
cases,
市长
and
就是跟中央反映，新
99.5%
北市
are
是
mild
居
cases.
家关怀照护中心。
Therefore, the
那关怀
government
中
has
心其实是
considered
首
the
创，所以很
capacity
多
of
事情
medical
要
care
开始严厉。
and added
那
the
新北
home
市
care
政府，
model.
新北市总共有29个行政区，那我们台北市，我们台北慈济院被分配为6个行政区，总共必须照顾56.376位
And the
的
Taipei Tzu
院长看
Hospital
到这个部分，
is
他说这
responsible
是
for a total population of
承担医疗承
563,006
担的一个范围。 那院长
administrative
对这样
districts.
的安排，我们的承诺，只要是我负责的区域，他有需要，我们一定都照顾。面对居家照顾的部分，其实我们最大的考验是空间的隔离，怎么样让这些确诊在家的病人他不要焦虑，他能安心的在家里接受一些
And there's a test of wisdom during this time, the isolation and space anxiety,
所以我们对自己的期许
the rolling policy,
这些
the
确诊
pressure of time,
空间的
and
限
tier
制，我们
group care.
也要提供他们安心、安全跟有温
So
度的一个
not
照顾。
limited by space, but also
这
to
样才能
provide
达到
peace of
我们的
mind,
理念，
safety,
需要
and
帮助
warm
的时候，这
caring.
些人知道他能找谁，有健康需求的时候，他能正确及时的得到协助照顾。所以我们就做了很多的一些规
And
划
here
SOP。
is the
那
SOP
最
I
重要
listed.
的是说，我们会锁住优先照顾的是65岁
And
高危的
cluster
病
care
人
is the
到
must,
12岁
prioritizing health care for
在面对这么
high-risk
一
group.
天上千人
Priority
去
targets
做分流，我想
the
这是我
over
们很大的
65
一个考
years
验。
old,
那
under
因为
12
时
years
间的
old,
关系，
multiple
我先
chronic
给
disease.
大家，我们有一个妈妈，她写了一个感恩信来，从这些感恩信当中，我们可以看
And
到，
this is
在
a
这一
letter
波疫情
came
当中，
from
我们透过我们第一时间
feedback.
的一个电话关怀、简讯通知，让他在他最需要的时候，他知道他可以怎么样来找到我们，
And this is a
找到我
thank you
们
letter
怎么样帮他做
from
安排，
one of our
安排之
patients
后，依据病人的需要，让他们
saying
安
that
全、安心的接受到
she's been
照顾。
looking
那
for
在最
all
后
the
要回
resources
家
on
的
our
妈妈不
website,
小
but
心
there she
确
couldn't
诊
find
的，
anything.
在这时候我们就怎么把他安排到防疫旅馆，
And
让他这一路
around
上
11
得到
o'clock
很好的一个
p.m.,
照顾。我
she's
想
able
这
to
就是
call
我
the
们在这一
hospital,
波疫情当中大家齐
which
心
is
努
our
力得到的。
hospital, and then
那怎么样做到这些？其实我想我们是
the voice she heard on
比
the
如说用大
the
量的
other
简
end
讯、
is so
良好的
soft
资讯
that
系统的设计，
it just
还有团队
helped
的
her
一
go
个
through that
合
time.
作。我想这些细节大概就没办法在今天一一跟
And she ended
大
up
家
came
再
to
讲。
our
但是我要
hospital
在
and
这
stay,
一波
and
过
she
程
just
当
want to
中，
thank
我们一样行政团队
for
邀约，
that
因为
we
一
help
天
her calm
上
her
千个
mind
病人
and
要打电
also
话，
make
真的
her
不是护理
healthy
的
again.
主管们能做得到的。所以一样邀约各类的行政的同仁们一起帮忙，大家就在他的原地的位置，透过我们的系统一一打电话，分配几个他们就完成。那这样子还是不够，所以那时候就跟院长讲，院长我们可以找我们的社区志工来帮忙。
And
也因为祥文的帮忙，我们师兄只要
it all,
一
this
通知，
also
很多的师姐
remind
们
me
都
of
积
the
极报名。
unity is
所
the
以透过这
power.
样的一个说明，让师姐们也了解我们运作
In
模
order
式，大
to
家
make it
不管谁
successful,
打的电话频
I
率都
need
一样
help. and assistance from everybody. I have many great teams who were able to help me. And every morning I will start a very short meeting and just talk about what we're going to do for the rest of the week. And I also have different teams who join us later on.
我想从这一波当中，我一直觉得团结就是力量，怎么样透过大家的努力来一起服务。那这个部分其实我们台北慈济院不管承担任何的任务，
And I can tell you a lot more, but I'm sorry we are extending our proposed time.
好，我快结束了哈。好，那我想在这个4月13号到目前为止，这个居家关怀招我们
，this is the chart.
那在除了这个防疫抗疫过程当中，我很感恩我们的团队，还是
accepting a total of 67,927 people totally between April 13th to September 22nd.
我们人生的价值，我做得很，我甘愿做，我欢喜受。那
And lastly, I'm grateful for our nursing team.
跟叮咛，和和互协，齐心努力，日益精进。
And the Dharma given to us by the Master, we will continue to work together in harmony and mutual cooperation to improve better and better.
非常感恩了，很爱变的秋凤主任呢，来到慈济以后，以不变来应万变。 幸好有他在，然后带着团队，所以呢，上人就说以团体做事者永恒，以个人做事者无常。在这样的一个分享当中，我们更可以去感受到
of your leadership.
去带领团队，而且
you rarely talk about how strong you are. You keep mention about you have a great team, but you rarely mention about yourself.
我们泰国的警署就马上说，感恩秋凤主任在云
Right here, I have a message from our viewer at Thailand.
成为世纪风暴中大家的定心神愿。高雄的蔡碧娟说。
And we also have another message from the Kaohsiung. And this message mentioned that the viewer listened to your story, and she's very lucky that you're staying with City Hospital.
长春的刘春芝就是台北慈院吴秋凤新冠期间过难关，团队
another message coming from China,
在人间守护生命忘我行
praising all those nurse practitioners, those medical staff.
医护面对百年大疫不慌不乱，齐心协力
They are protecting people's lives and health.
感恩尊重爱。 用心的菩萨团队，感恩你们全球
Thank you, and we're so grateful for have you. And we're so proud of you.
今天回台湾搭飞机，说来是不上线，看来是在机场呢，迫不及待，还是舍不得我们，所以他就说。
We have another message from Sister Wan, as she's still at the airport and she's watching our book club video right now. And she's also feel very grateful for the story that she heard.
石经也说，秋凤主任不简单，全院不仅要关照患者，还要照顾同仁，上下一起来。Lily 酷酷，谢谢你说感恩每周3的读书会，他很久没有上线。对啦，霹雳安顺的孙女，你要常常上线。总之，我们非常感恩哦。最后一个。 汉文说：“感恩秋凤主任，永在台北慈济院疫情之下守护乡亲，视病如亲，令人心安。没有最好，只有更好。群策群力，协力接力，做出最棒的良医典范。感恩，这是我们嘉义的汉文师兄哈，非常的感恩，也给我们的主任再次的热烈掌声。感恩主任，谢谢。
For all the caring that he did and all the leadership.
我们一起和和互协，齐心努力，日益精进。感恩，再次的感恩主任，百忙之中上线跟我们分享我所看到百年大疫中的你我他。那么关于我们的导读啊，我觉得哈， 文代在花莲，他说感恩碧娟师姐的导读，让乌克兰的难民感受到慈济人的大爱。地球村大家都是一家人，祝福战争早日停止，难民回归自己家乡。
Here's another message talk about previous segments on the war at Ukraine.
还有淑娟即将2月1号莅临主场，希望他们3月15号10周年也能够莅临我们主场。那文代也即将要跨新的年度要。 用线上导读的方式，内蒙的恩利也是我们的跨区的导读团队哈。喜欢碧娟师姐的导读，师姐侃侃而谈，向来是向我们娓娓道来，烽火无情，战争无家，慈济有爱的道，感恩Ukraine war
and how Tzu bring love to the refugees over there.
战争很可怕，祈求世界无灾无难。有一个小朋友在新的一年跟母亲求和。 新的一年，我们各自退一步，你不打我，我也不顶嘴。哎，我知道这是一位很厉害的，我一下子忘记他的名字啊。6月他的儿子，嘿嘿，他对，6月，最近6月不小心跌倒，然后受伤。我为什么要知道那么多？糟糕，我在看演艺剧，不小心让大家看到。 我实在是不务正业哈啊！总之，我喜欢和你在一起，因为你有正能量哈。活络筋骨来了，我们接下来的3周，请不要太想念我们，但是没有办法跟我们相见哦。但是这个活络筋骨是你们喜欢的时候，就是当我们快累了，觉得
we're into our next one, which is the exercise portion.
会帮我们活力加满倍的。
So let's welcome our exercise team. And by this time, you've been probably sitting down for a while, so it's time for you to get up and let's do some exercise with us.
每一天2楼的赶快出来动一动，线上的您放下手边的工作，一起来动一动哦。来
，Let's move your hands.
手指头动一动了，来，踏起你的脚步，一起来，踏。 准备点肩向上，点肩手举高，准备提水桶呀，提水桶。
I hope you can listen to the music and just move your body along with our teacher.
插进去往下，插进去往上，插进去往下点肩，点肩手举高。 准备跑步，旁边，再一回，旁边，插进去往上，插进去往下，插进去往上，插进去往下点肩，加油！准备大力水手，
照手牵手，心安自在快乐活，自己救。
准备踏步，慈济常照大爱多，慈济常照感恩多，慈济常照健康多，慈济常照快乐多再一次。
This song is about the Tzu Chi long-term care.
难不到，化费为宝功一巧，街头巷尾人好。
插进去往上，插进去往下，插进去往上，插进去往下点肩。
就是刚健身矫健，儿童牧民心必
跑步，
志工跑在前，社区关怀不落后，妙事连妙连篇。
插进去往上，插进去往下，插进去往上，插进去往下点肩。
当一桩生青年，
非常好哦。
儿志工傻叫，常照手牵手，心安自在快乐活，自己救。
准备踏步，慈济常照大爱多，慈济常照感恩多，慈济常照健康多，慈济常照快乐多。 个掌声一下。接下来，幸福的脸，我
We
们有一个
have
密
next
码。
song.
当你听到说过新年，
The
请你
face
找
of
10个
happiness.
现场的伙伴去说
And
新年的祝福好话，可
I
以吗？
want you to do
爱
me
吹杂的
a
人哦，
favor.
10个哦，
Just go
可以
around
吗？阿公阿妈、爸爸妈妈可以吗？
and find 10
听
people.
到过新年的
If
这
you
个密码
hear
的
a
时候，就要赶快
password
现场，
say
无论
New
是
Year,
前后左右都
you
可以。
here I
也就
say
是说，
New Year.
新年快乐，新年
This is
平
the
安，
password.
祝
You'll
福
go
你
around
都
the
可
room
以。
and
老
then
师，下一首是
greet
幸
people
福的
with Happy
脸。
New Year greeting.
幸福的
You
人
do
呢，
that
一
for me?
起，开始双手准备。密码是什么？过新年，好，听到过新年要找10个伙伴哦。来，开开合合，
有没有在我身边？
打开，
怎么一直看不见？
往前，
幸福有没有
回来
在你那
再
边？
一次，
让我看看他的脸。
准备盖房子，
家里已经找了好多遍，
加油！
只有温暖的房间。
准备照镜子，
爸爸说幸福就在镜子里，
很好啊，好可爱呀、
就是我快乐的
不
脸。
用紧张，还没有。
老师
来力量，正能量，正能量，大家一起来开心，
快乐就会多一些。
正能量再一次哦，力量，力量，哎，摇一摇快乐。
是记在心里面。
准备擦窗户，擦窗户，
善良礼貌的
大片一点，大力一点，
发现大家
幸福的脸，拍手一起来，嘿，拍手，拍手，啊，拍手。
Okay, now I'm saying the word Happy New Year. Gotta go around the room and greet everybody with a New Year greeting. Alright, that's coming back. Let's do our little exercise together again.
爸爸说幸福就在镜子里，那就是我快乐的脸。
老师说我们要有正能量哦。
老师说
来，正能量，正能量，大家一起来开心。
快乐就会多一些。
再一次正能量，来，正能量，正能量，大家一起来开心。
随时记在心里面。
准备擦窗户。
我用善良礼貌的双眼，
发现大家幸福的脸。正能量，来，力量，力量，摇一摇快乐。
快乐就会多一些。
再一次，力量，力量，哎，摇一摇。
随时记在心里面。
对，擦窗户，擦窗户。
善良礼貌的双眼，发现大家幸福的脸。
过新年了！
Yay, Happy New Year!
新年好，新年平安。
Once again, greet everybody with New Year greeting.
新年平安。来，回来。
Okay, we're back.
一起唱来啦
Let's sing together.
啦啦啦啦啦啦啦啦啦啦啦啦。啦啦啦啦啦啦啦啦啦啦啦啦啦啦，嘿嘿！祝福大
Wish
家新的一
everybody
年
the New Year
平安！
peace,
谢谢活动组，祝福大家新年
healthy.
健康活力旺，心态
Wish everybody a healthy
大
body.
大，谢谢。
Thank you. You can sit down.
好，越到最后爱到最高，一定要坚持住 ，hold 住哦。我们的精彩了，就是压轴已经校长这边等在线了哈。刚才我们秀女师姐就说，台北慈院同心付出得大奖。
Now we're coming up to our featured speaker, but first let me give you some feedbacks from our viewers. Someone is congratulating the Taipei City Hospital for winning the 4 awards and caring for hundreds in the COVID pandemic in Taiwan. So if you have happened to miss any of our segments today, you're welcome to look back at our replay on YouTube. So our topic for this month will be on the Department of Education. So we have the superintendent of the Tzu Chi University in Hualien. And we can see her posters or her publications has been designed by a team in Hualien, as well as written and by a team in Zhanghua. And we're very grateful for her for giving us a feedback when she was here last time. And she said that even though her sharing was only 30 minutes, may not be as long as she wanted, but she's able to still spread positive information to all those who are joining. Now, hopefully she's able to feel a positive energy all the way in Hualien where she's at. And last year in January, this is her feedback when she was here in person. And at the same time, if you'd like to follow and keep track of the Tzu Chi University's updates, you're welcome to listen in at the Volunteer Assembly every Monday in Taiwan, because that is usually dedicated to the university. And as you can see, as the award for the most sustainable university, Tzu Chi University was ranked the 143rd in the world. So here you can see all the events and stories from the university. So if you're interested in that, feel free to join in the Volunteer Assembly every Monday morning. Now, if you'd like to know a little more about our speaker today, we have a little clip for you. So she is actually from Kaohsiung as well. And a lot of people may have heard of her, but not seen her or know her personally. But she is very dedicated to serving the students as well as promoting the student rights. And as you can see, this clip is to showcase her power of grace. Now you see where I am right now, but I didn't come this way. And it's always a process of growth and evolution to get to where I am right now. And one of the hardest things being a principal of Tzu Chi University is that you cannot say anything is difficult, because our founder started Tzu Chi Foundation from nothing and created the 4 missions. Now, one of my best traits is that I am very optimistic. Even though I may face obstacles and difficulties, after I wake up from my sleep, and I would feel completely energized. I don't complain much, and I take pride in everything I do and every position that I'm in part of. Now, from these clips, it's maybe short and not very lengthy, but I have sent out to people multiple times. Every time I watch it, I still feel motivated and inspired from her story. Now, I received a scholarship from this school to get my PhD. So when I was taking the role as a principal, it's to fulfill my responsibility.
Okay, should be good. Just approve it. Okay.
就投稿了。
对，就投稿，就等。Let's talk about your new manuscript. 然后他现在还在写另外一篇。Hey, Olsen.
So this is how they were submitting publications.
Yeah, progress-wise is good though. 我不是在非洲那边我有几个大学，然后
我的先生跟孩子他们现在在国外，我的孩子在创业，我的先生他也是在帮公司处理。
So my husband and my son are overseas. My son is an entrepreneur, and I'm very grateful for my parents for not letting me worry about them. My kids have been very close to me, and we have a very limited time to be together. So we must take every opportunity we can to interact and grow. One of the professors asked me that if I haven't seen my son for a long time, how do I feel? And one day when I asked him, he said he knows that I have 3,600 kids to take care, so don't worry about him. So I felt really, really touched, and because he's demonstrating his maturity. Now, even though he's a kid, but he's still very supportive of my job, my responsibility. I feel that I'm a very good wife, a very good mother, but I'm also a very good, dedicated scholar. So if you're motivated and put your efforts into it, you can definitely put your passion into your profession.
我是慈济大学的校长刘怡君，我在慈济大学服务从1993年到现在。
I am Tzu University principal, Ingrid Lu. I started in 1993. It has been 28 years. This is my first job and will be my last job. As you can see, this is what really touched me. This is my first job, and it's also my very last job. And as we can see, even with the turmoils in Ukraine, we have seen that Principal has made a connection with Ukrainians are in Tzu University, and she has brought them to the Jingsi abode and have them be immersed in the cultural environment of Tzu. And we really hope that through these interactions, we're able to grow the affinities even deeper. So today, the topic of our heart sharing is something that we all know and is very important. As we all know that one of the key traits of Alzheimer's disease is a memory loss. So how do we increase the functions of self-regulation and reducing the inflammation, the factors? And we found that by doing so, the functional memory of our lab rats have returned. So we all know that our principal is a good mother, a good professor, and a very dedicated scholar. And we're very happy that she is from Kaohsiung, and we felt really honored to have her join us. And very grateful for her to be joining us this time during the year. And today, she will give us an update on the Alzheimer research. As we all know that she just recently published a research, and she's willing to share with us today. So before we begin, let's just say that we have positive energy and really happy to have her be here.
是，好，感恩美云老师的介绍。敬爱的上人金舍师父，全球的
Dear teacher Meiyun and dear master, abode masters, as well as Shijing families across the world, and Kaohsiung study group our listeners. I hope you'll have a good day, a good morning. I'm very grateful and very happy that every year the study group has invited me back for this sharing and to present some of our very little achievements throughout the year. And as we see, the study group team has been very, very dedicated, very passionate in creating the stories, the artwork. All that is just to share this information to family members, Shiji families across the world. So hopefully all you can see are a presentation.
还是没有吗？是，好。我看一下哈。
好的。
来，
是要打开，刚才有看到，但是不是今天的简报。是的。
好。
Alright, so working out some technical difficulties.
这样子可以吗？
没看到哎。
好，来，我来分享一下。OK， 可以了吗？
的。
好，有了哈。
是。
好。那么今天想跟线上读书会的
Okay, now I can see her slides. So today what I would like to share with everyone and to our brothers, sisters, as well as our Shiji family across the world is how do we prevent Alzheimer's disease? Now, you don't think such doing so is a very difficult thing, a very difficult topic, because I will try to explain it with the most simplest way I can, because this is a very important topic. Now, I'm sure everyone has heard of Alzheimer's disease because it is a degenerative memory loss, a memory disease. There are two markers, which is a alpha beta amyloid plaque, as well as neurofibrillary tangles. Now, these two proteins, through abnormal accumulation, can create some early signs of Alzheimer's disease. And some of the most common signs is that we see some of our elderly members starting to lose the sense of direction or forgetting what they were doing. And some of them may feel a little nausea. So when our elderly families have complained to us that they would forget how to get home, or even though they've been walking the same path for decades, or lost sense of direction, these are all signs of pointing to us that we should start paying attention to early signs of memory loss. Or we may notice them that they may have bought something but forgot to bring it home, or don't remember where they left their keys, or sometimes even what they ate for breakfast. So these signs, let me confess, I feel like I have all of these signs as well. But if such a thing happens too often, it is a sign to be aware of. Now, as it starts to degenerate some more, we may notice that they have issues with judgment because we've seen some degeneration of their frontal lobe in their brain. So as we know, a lot of elderly were scammed. And why were they so easily tricked? Well, that could be also due to their reduction in judgment. We also may know that their change in their social behaviors. They could used to be very active or very outgoing, but now you start to see them becoming more in a withdrawal state, or you see a change in their mood very frequently. All of such could be signs of early signs of Alzheimer's. As we see with the advancement of medicine, research on Alzheimer's disease has been more prominent. And as people are getting older, we will see that every year there will be more than 350,000 new cases of dementia per year globally. And ultimately, due to the degeneration, the mortality rate will also increase by 38%. So you can see from the diagram here on the left, in a normal brain, you see a full cortex with a large hippocampus and healthy neurons. But in patients with degenerative brain, you see a reduction in the hippocampus and a reduction in the neural conduction. So we can see neurofibrillary tangles starting to accumulate within the neurons, as well as beta plaques. Now, with the improvement of imaging technology, we're able to visualize these changes in the brain of our patients. So, if we have seen, if you have a family member who has Alzheimer, a lot of people will ask if such a condition is hereditary. Well, we can separate that Alzheimer into two types. One is the late onset, one is the early onset. And there are many factors to dementia. Alzheimer is just one of them. One of the most common ones, but it's just one of them. In late onset dementia, usually it occurs around 65 years old. And majority of our patients are the late onset. So far, there hasn't been an indication of genetic inheritance for late onset. So if we have any elderly family members with late onset dementia, we don't need to be too worried about us inheriting that disease, because it is typically related to diet and food. Those with a higher cholesterol or bad fat metabolism will typically have a higher link. Now, the early onsets typically happened around 30 to 60 years old and represents a smaller piece, usually only 10% of all Alzheimer patients. Now, so far we have able to trace 3 genetic mutations to this disease. Now, even though we have identified them, but because there are multiple mutations, detection has not been very successful. As we know, some of these genes they're located on different chromosomes. So if we see patients who have an extra, chromosome number 21, which are the Down syndrome patients, they have a higher risk of early onset dementia, Alzheimer's. So next, I would like to play this video, which shows a story on the early onset. So a lot of his brothers and sisters are doctors overseas, and none of them believed that he would have Alzheimer's. So as we can see, life is truly impermanent. Now, last year during Father's Day, he had some outbursts, emotional outbursts in Taipei. So we had to forcefully send him to the hospital. Now, when it happened, he was actually strapped on the gurney and carted away on the ambulance to the hospital. Thinking back, it still pains me because he was yelling that he did nothing wrong. So why did you strap me up and tie me up? But I just can't. I can't take care of him anymore. Our family has always been living adequate, so my father's disease has been a huge impact to our family. A lot of us, a lot of people who are in my age group, or even those who are older, may not have encountered these things, such as teaching my dad how to do simple math, how to wear clothes, how to shower, even wipe himself, and have never faced situations where your father just can't communicate with you. He may take other people's things, and you have to teach him how to bring it back.
好，那么刚才影片当中呢，刚才影片当中的这位患者呢，他就是
So from a video clip, you can see this patient. He's a patient of early onset Alzheimer. He himself is a doctor, and his wife, we can see his teacher, who is a teacher in the Tsinghua University English Center. And even though she was a very accomplished teacher, a professor, she actually resigned when I took office because we started noticing that her husband has emotional outbursts and mood swings. And their kids were also students of our Tsinghua University Medical School and currently working in the medical in the hospitals in Tsinghua. So, as we know that having a patient with Alzheimer's is a heavy burden for all families. So she started the Dementia Care Association in Hualien, and to help families cope with the sudden changes. In the past 20-some years, we have seen a lot of medications have gone into even phase 3 clinical trials, but unfortunately, many of those failed the trial. Last year, we have seen the clinical trial for aducanumab, and which failed the third trial in 2019, but was approved in 2021, in June of 2021. Now, it was kind of controversial because FDA only approved it for early dementia, and so far there's no significant evidence to support the degeneration of Alzheimer's. Secondly, it is very expensive. The use of this medication costs more than $56,000 US a year. So early this year, FDA approved a new medication called lecanemab, which has helped known to help reduce cognitive disorders by 27%. The side effects including headaches, visual impairments, even loss of consciousness. And it is still very expensive medication, and we have known that we cannot combine this with stroke medications because it can cause significant side effects or comorbidity. So the care for Alzheimer's patients has been causing a significant burden in the society, both financially and resource-wise. And why is that? It's because a lot of the current medication is about clearing the amyloid plaque. And as we have seen from this quote, clearing the alpha beta plaque is like putting out a forest fire by blowing out a match. It is not, it's very difficult to remove the cause once the symptoms have already set in. So best option is to prevent and to help and do ways to prevent the accumulation. So now we're looking more into prevention of Alzheimer's disease. And one research has found that as we age, we notice the immune system will start to be less and less effective. As we all know, our immune system is very important in defending ourselves against foreign bacteria, allergens, or foreign antigens. And that is when we create a situation called inflammation. Now, if there are abundance of antigens and we have too much protein depositions or accumulations, our body will be chronically in a state of inflammation. So a lot of our internal organs, such as our liver, our kidneys, even our skin will have inflammatory responses, and that includes our brain. So if there's a continued inflammation, we will see damages in our brain neurons. So now the latest strategy in preventing Alzheimer's disease is to target inflammation responses, chronic inflammations. So if we have in early on take care using medications that are anti-inflammation, and that we may be able to prevent this issue. So now the research is more on finding compounds from nature, which demonstrate less side effects that can help reduce the inflammation. Now, there are many causes of chronic inflammation. One such things include hypertension, high blood lipids, or cholesterol, as well as high blood sugar. So if you have any of these indicators, you should not be ignoring them. And you must find ways to control these numbers. In 2004, February, Time have published on their cover that inflammation is the secret killer. If your body is constantly under the state of inflammation, not only there could be damages in our brain, it also increases our risk factors for heart attack, cancer, Alzheimer's, and other diseases. Now, what are some of the signs for chronic inflammation? Now, we may know that we have seen rashes in our skin or itchiness, sometimes when we're under stress or even we will notice these signs. And also finding our joints be a little inflamed, or our nose be itchy, our eyes, we have stuffy nose, or chronic headaches, insomnia. We may also notice fat accumulations in our stomach, in our lower abdomen, as well as if you have a sweet tooth or love fried or roasted foods or even fast foods. So one of the dietary methods of controlling chronic inflammation is to control our calorie intake. Masters have taught us for numerous years that to focus on a vegetarian diet and control our calorie intake. If we only ate about 80% full, we're able to not only sustain ourselves, but also help more people, feed more people. Excessive calorie intake increases the fat synthesis within our body and create fat. Even those who are vegetarian, if you take in extra sugar or fried foods, you can also increase the fat accumulations, as well as if you have excessive oxidative fatty acids in your body, and that will be a trigger for inflammation. It's also very important to know that we should use good type of oils in our cooking and what we eat. A lot of people nowadays are, eating out. Even though it's convenient, we see that these restaurants, in order to control their costs, they will be using oil which are of a lesser quality, such as soybean oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, which contains omega-6 fatty acids, and these are known to cause chronic inflammation. If we have oils from nuts or cold-pressed olive oil, Inca berry oils, they are rich in omega-9 to omega-3 fatty acids, which can help reduce inflammation. So best way is to use good oil and cook ourselves, prepare our own meals, and help us from ingesting oils that are rich in omega-6. At the same time, we have to eat more raw foods, which means to help us not eating any highly processed foods. So in short, it means you need to eat foods that made from ingredients that you can still identify. You can see from cabbages, from carrots, vegetables. A lot of the highly processed foods can contain excess sugar and fat, which can trigger more inflammation. At the same time, we have to essentially eat the rainbow. We have to eat vegetables of many different colors. As we all know that colors comes from photochemicals, which are antioxidants. In addition to vitamin E, vitamin C, lecithin can help also reduce inflammation activators, and if kappa B. And when we're cooking, we have to help cook them in low temperatures using natural seasoning, spices, and avoid allergens. So you're gonna know if you're allergic to certain nuts or peanuts, keep yourself away from those. The most importantly is to have a minimum of 20 minutes of exercise a day. Research have already shown that by exercising, we keep the balance of our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, as well as reducing the inflammation responses in our body and help maintain the cardiovascular system, the stability of our cardiovascular system. Our emotions play a very important part too. having a positive energy and a stable emotions can help reduce inflammation. Studies have shown that 12 minutes of meditation or 12 minutes of calmness can help reduce early onset of dementia, as well as reducing the risk of depression. So next, I'd like to play a little video here, which is a summary.
好，请播影片。
有播放，但是因为是静音，所以您可以直接讲
They're
话。
really having some issues with our sound.
开始好吗？好，我从前面开始让您讲话，已经播放了，是。
但是我现在好，那么也就是我们神经系统呢，它会有这个。
So our nervous
讯息
system
好，那大家可以看到神经系统呢是用这个电化学，还有这个
has the function of sending impulses.
来传递我们的这个讯息。好，那么
As you can see that there are neurotransmitters and currents to send these impulses. In our nervous system,
包里面有这个
to be the cause of Alzheimer's disease, we can see that in our neurons there are accumulations of the neurofibrillary tangles, and between the neuron cells there's accumulation of the amyloid protein. So it's like having backed up traffic on the highways. And when everything is clogged up, these impulses cannot be transmitted and cause dementia, a memory loss, as well as instabilities in our emotions or our mood. In addition, the clogging of the circulation system can also be a very, very important cause of dementia. So that's why we say it's very important to maintain and keep control of our blood sugar, lipid level, as well as our blood pressure. So if we see some of our parents or older family members having changes in their behavior or their mood, it could be early signs of dementia, and we have to be attentive and seek medical help early on. To help prevent them, we can not only including the factors, the ways we mentioned before, such as avoiding highly processed foods, eating colorful foods, as well as exercising. It's also very important to keep your mind stimulated. So being a Shijing volunteer, as well as joining the online study group, these are all very good ways of preventing dementia and Alzheimer's disease.
好，往下到20页了哈。那么我们的实验室呢，在这个过程当中，我们也很努力的想要找到一些天然的化合物，
So in our lab,
降低发炎反应，并且
we have been trying really hard to find some natural compounds that can help reduce inflammatory responses and reverse the memory loss. This is from one of our PhD doctorates from Thailand, and found that marine compounds can be able to help reduce memory loss. And last night we just have a publication that was accepted. It is a standardized herbal extract which can help reverse memory loss in mice. And this is from another of our researchers from Thailand. And hopefully in the future, we're able to produce these extracts, these compounds and help reduce the effect of Alzheimer's disease on the general public. Now, as we can see, there are many films or videos that portray the development of Alzheimer's disease. So if you're curious and want to know the impact that it may have on you and your loved ones, your family, you can feel free to look into one of these videos. Now, this is a picture of our lab who are dedicated in the research of Alzheimer's disease. So above are my sharings. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me, get in touch with me, and I'll try to my best to respond to you. So at the end, I hope you all a happy new year, and thank you for listening to me today. So very thankful for the principal Lu for her sharing today. These videos, these movies that she recommended are all very, very good. And if you have opportunity, you should watch that. There's so many real life cases or real life incidents where young people, even though they are looking very young, they were still suffering from dementia. And a lot of us may thought that, well, we may not have any issues with our blood pressure or blood sugar, so we may ignore regular exams. So it is something that to keep in mind of, and we may need to adjust our lifestyles to match and help to combat these blood pressure, blood sugar, and lipid levels, cholesterol levels in our blood. As we heard earlier in the sharing, that Alzheimer's is related to chronic inflammation as well as improper diet. And having a vegetarian diet and regular exercise, it will keep us strong and healthy living. So I just want to share with you some of the feedbacks of one of our listeners. She said that she's gonna be on the plane, that she won't be able to respond. But I kind of wonder if maybe she missed her flight because she was here responding with us online. And she shared that that our speaker principal has been a role model for modern women who's able to take care of her family as well as maintaining a career and caring for an even bigger family at the City University. And through her sharing today, we have gained an insight into Alzheimer's disease, and it was very grateful for this opportunity. And from our listeners, Victor and Janice, they were sharing that we're teaching us how to live a healthy lifestyle, as well as finding healthy ways to benefit our society by being volunteers and interacting with other people. So from Beijing, a lot of them are saying that they are noticing signs of a memory loss. And now we hope that it's not really the case for all of them. But at the end, we're all very grateful for them to join us today, and we hope to see her again next year. I'm very grateful for her. She's spending her precious time with us today. And now let's go back to our feedback today, which will be from our TIMA speakers today. Back in October, we have the feedback from our China China listeners who are sharing about everything that they've done for the community, and they are feeling very inspired, and that for the long-term care centers and those who are where they have the charity sales, has been very touching to our listeners. And they've shared that to gain trust in every little deeds that we do. And last, we have a feedback regarding Superintendent Zhang, who was sharing with us that coronary diseases has been a very difficult condition to treat across the world. But in Taiwan, they had the ability of using microsurgeries to help the patients recover faster due to the smaller wound. And with a diligent training of the staff in Dalian, we were able to receive widespread acclaim for this surgery. And back in October, from our sharers has shared that impermanence as being the greatest gift. Many people would say that impermanence is something that they don't want, but when you see them positively as a present, we will be able to reflect on the things that we may have been taken for granted or have forgotten, and gain a new appreciation for the things that happened in our life. And when we encounter things that are unfortunate, what type of mental state or emotions we must have in order to face it and deal with it. Now, we see that in families who have been very harmonious in the 4 generations. They've been using teachings from masters to be their key model.
So Dr. Hong will talk about the diet and the exercise for the elderly people. Good noon, everybody. This is Dr. Hong from Kaohsiung, TIMA. We're talking about the diet and the exercise effect for elderly people. So according to the Taiwan Committee of Health, after 2018, Taiwan already entering the elderly society, because that's 1/5 of the population over age 65 were regarded as the elderly society. So average right now is every 4 working person will support 1 elderly people. But the estimate is that 2030, only 2.7 working population will support 1 elderly people. So this become a more worrisome problem. So the elderly people aged over 85 increased 108%. It's because of the advancement of the medical treatment. What's a general question problem with the elderly people is they're very forgettable, very close to Alzheimer's disease. The other side effect is because they got so many different illness, so they don't feel very good. So the elderly people, when they enter into this age, they should live a normal and a healthy life. So it's important to give an active elderly age. They must healthy body, normal awareness, and join the social community activity. How to maintain the healthy body when you are old? You must have enough proper exercise, very proper diet awareness. The principle for elderly people have a proper exercise. Trying to do the extended exercise, it will keep your bone and muscle safe, won't be hurted. So the other is exercise by walking. So doing the periodic walking. The pace is fast pace for 3 minutes, slow pace for 3 minutes. It will increase your strength of muscle of lower body and your back. So that will help you balance your action, so reduce the risk of falling down. So the balance exercise will help you prevent you fall down. So also need to exercise the muscle, and also to train your toe grabbing force. So one medical expert find out from Australia that after age 50, your grabbing force on your feet will start reduce. If we can practice our toes exercise, that will prevent us from falling when we're getting older. The very simple exercise is like you see in the video. To practice when you are watching TV, you can using the exercise to train your toes grabbing force. So the principle is using media type strength, but must have the accelerated heartbeat, sweating daily, every 30 minutes every day. The diet principle must maintain the grain, peas, vegetable, fruit, and this chart shows half of the place is vegetable and the fruit. So quarter is the protein, plant protein. The other is quarter plate is whole grain. For elderly people, the protein is very important in nutrition. We can gain from the beans, the soybeans, the black soybean. These are very good protein and replace the protein from meat. It will help your muscle have strength. So we eat in 3 meals. When we eat enough protein, our toes grabbing power will improve.
那这画面上是告诉各位我本身所做的实验啊。那么吃蛋白质之后，对于脚趾抓力的影响哈。那么黄色的箭头表示说，当天我是
So without the protein,
可以显现，可以发现很明显
the grabbing power will be reduced.
抓力很明显，它是那个很明显的那个那个抓力降低啊，抓力降低。
You can see the effect is very obvious, with or without eating enough protein. So the soybean, the green soybean are very good quality of protein. The conclusion is must have proper exercise every day. We should have balanced diet. Is will help the health of our body. So we should keep a consistent habit. The best protein is from soybean and can replace the meat. That's one of the best choice. But for any person's special requirement, we must follow doctor's instruction. Follow the doctor's instruction. This is all the content I want to share with you.
或者是依照个人的身体状况，不要勉强去做强力的运动。
Stand in one feet.
跟大家来分享的那个。
So that's the training of the balance.
非常感恩，哇，好实用，单脚。
It's a balance training.
你试试给我看一下，然后不能动吗？完蛋。
Dr. Hong has this. Got to exercise every day.
Hold 住。
I cannot stay up late. That's part of the master's advice for me.
好，干脆大家来监督我，不能熬夜。
So recently, I feel I have to keep the good habit.
小林在催呀，我真的最近对，就是有一点醒觉到不行了，不能。
So we heard from the Qiufeng, Sister Qiufeng. Then from the principal of Shijing University and from Dr. Hong, we know for elderly people, the health is most important. We need to have the awareness how the diet and the exercise. Remember, next week, so don't come for the 2 executive. Oh, so we have 3 consecutive weeks. the session is off for 3 weeks, but do come on the 4th week. So we're really expecting the Dr. Jian will come to visit on the 4th week. Thank you very much for your presentation, Dr. Hong. So the Chinese New Year is coming, so we should bring good gifts during the Chinese Spring Festival. So before June 14, we have very good events for the health presentation. So you can come to Kaohsiung to attend those events. So you can see all the series of Jinsi products, which are very, very useful for your daily life, including your household. And it's really environmental protection tools and good food. All these pandemic health.
在这边，豆浆粉很重要哈，身体的保护各方面，我们总是很重要。
So we have the sharing of the Dharma by Shijing sister. So we have coming events of the Dharma Master. So the February 8th, we have more exciting events. I love to stay with you because you got the positive energy. There's only the beauty of the effort. People have no power, but the influential person, that's what you want to be. Okay, thank you for your listening. Let's conclude today's event. Thank you.
活动组，请你们带这个上去跟他们贺年一下，快点！快点，我们跟那个净湿卫生纸跟你们结缘。团队记得到 Google 报名哦，2月1号我们才会知道多少人要吃饭哈。无人永志，你们要报名2月1号。